Welcome back to the channel Coins Buyers, another exciting video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. And today we are going to talk about one of the most surprising finds in American coinage history, the 1990 United States 1-cent coin, a coin that might look so ordinary in your hand yet has the potential to be worth as much as $45 million because of the extraordinary errors, mistakes, and mint mark anomalies that set it apart from the billions of other pennies struck in that year. And what makes this story truly engaging is how such a tiny piece of copper-plated zinc can carry so much history, mystery, and value that collectors around the world are eager to pay unimaginable sums to acquire one. So let's take a closer look at how this single cent became such a hot topic in the coin collecting community. The 1990 D1 cent was produced at the Denver Mint in massive quantities, and at first glance, it doesn't appear to be anything special. It bears the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse designed by Victor David Brenner and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which had been the standard design since 1959. But the reality is that some coins from this mintage contain striking flaws that make them instantly stand out to experts and collectors. One of the most famous issues tied to the 1990 penny is the error related to the mint mark. In some cases, the D of Denver is either missing, doubled, misplaced, or faintly imprinted in a way that suggests an irregular die preparation process. And because mint marks are essential identifiers of where a coin was struck, such errors immediately create rarity and demand. While most pennies are struck with precision using updated dies, mistakes occasionally slip through, and in 1990 this became one of the most notable times. Adding to the rarity is the fact that some 1991 cent coins were struck with proofs dies that were never supposed to leave the mint, causing confusion and fascination among collectors. And when this happens, even a small run of misstruck coins can become worth a fortune because they are technically not supposed to exist. Another element that contributes to the enormous estimated value of $45 million is the hype and desirability factor, as every serious coin collector dreams of owning a piece of history that not only showcases the artistry of American coinage but also carries with it a tale of human error and chance. The combination of a seemingly worthless penny and an astronomical market value sparks the imagination, and people often dig through their pocket change in the hope of finding such a rarity. Imagine holding a coin that has been spent countless times, traveled through hands, stores, and banks, yet is secretly one of the most valuable items in circulation. That is the magic of numismatics. And the 1990 D penny embodies it perfectly. Furthermore, errors on this coin are not limited to mint marks alone. Collectors have identified variations such as off-center strikes, double dies, misaligned dies, and coins struck on the wrong planches, and each of these errors dramatically increases the coin's desirability, with some examples being so unique that they are essentially one of a kind. And in the coin market, uniqueness translates directly into value. When supply is practically zero and demand is huge, the price climbs into the millions, which is why experts have estimated the potential of these rare specimens to reach numbers as high as $45 million. Now, while it may sound unbelievable that a coin with a face value of just 1 cent can sell for such an amount, history has shown us that collectors are willing to pay anything for rarity and perfection. Just like how rare stamps, paintings, and artifacts fetch record-breaking sums, coins with undeniable rarity and error history have the same allure. The 1990 D penny has become one of those legendary coins, and what makes this story even more engaging is the possibility that some of these error coins are still out there in circulation, waiting to be discovered in someone's pocket change, piggy bank, or old coin jar. And many collectors encourage everyone to check carefully because it only takes one lucky find to completely change someone's life. If you are lucky enough to come across a 1990 penny with unusual features, examining the mint mark, date, and strike quality can reveal if it is a regular circulation coin worth 1 cent or a hidden treasure worth millions. This is why the study of coin errors is so fascinating, because every minting process involves massive machinery, countless repetitions, and a human element that leaves room for mistakes, and it is in those mistakes that incredible value hides. The 1990 D penny is not just a small coin but a symbol of how rarity and human error can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, and collectors who understand this are always on the lookout for the next great discovery. So when we talk about this coin being worth $45 million, it is not just about the metal or the design, it is about history, rarity, and the story it tells about the minting process and the collectors who treasure it. So if you are watching this, take a moment to check your coins, especially those 1990 pennies, because you never know, you might be holding on to one of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world, a coin that proves beyond doubt that sometimes even a simple penny can be worth far more than gold. where we uncover the hidden treasures that could be sitting right in your pocket change. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1998 United States 1-cent coin. A small copper-plated zinc piece that has become legendary among collectors because in certain rare cases it can carry a value that skyrockets far beyond its face value of just 1 cent and can even reach an astonishing figure of around $87 million due to its extremely rare errors, minting mistakes, and unusual varieties that only a handful of people have ever seen. Now the story of the 1998 penny begins like any other coin of its era. It was struck at the United States Mint facilities primarily in Philadelphia and Denver, with billions produced to circulate across the country in everyday commerce. Most of these coins are common, ordinary, and worth exactly 1 cent. But as with all things in numismatics, the smallest details can create a difference so great that it changes the destiny of a coin forever. When you look closely at the 1998 penny, you will see the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, which has been on the cent since 1909. On the reverse you will see the Lincoln Memorial design that was used from 1959 through 2008. At first glance nothing seems unusual, but hidden among the ordinary examples are those very few coins that contain mint errors so dramatic and rare that they transform what should be pocket change into a life-changing discovery. One of the most notable varieties that makes the 1998 penny so valuable is the 1998 wide AM reverse, where the letters A and M in America are spaced further apart than usual. This tiny spacing difference resulted from the mint accidentally using a proof die intended for special collector strikes on circulation coins. These wide AM cents are rare enough to be valuable in their own right, with high-grade examples fetching thousands of dollars, but when you combine this with additional errors such as double strikes, off-center strikes, wrong planchet strikes, or missing mint marks, the value can skyrocket beyond imagination. The mystique of the mint mark itself adds to the intrigue because during certain minting processes mistakes can occur where the mark appears faint, doubled, or even entirely missing. A missing mint mark, or one that was accidentally punched in the wrong place, immediately captures the attention of collectors and auction houses. If you happen to hold a 1998 cent that combines these rare features with pristine condition graded by professional services as MS-70, you are not just holding a coin, you are holding a multi-million-dollar rarity that wealthy collectors and museums would fight to acquire. Now the question is, why does a coin with errors become so valuable when errors usually represent mistakes? The answer lies in rarity, demand, and history. Errors are not supposed to exist, which means only a very limited number survive before the mint corrects the process. The rarity instantly creates demand, and when you add the rich history of Lincoln cents and the fascination with American coinage, the prices soar to unimaginable heights. Auction houses in the past have seen dramatic bidding wars for error pennies, and it is no surprise that rumors and verified sales have pushed certain 1998 error cents to the jaw-dropping figure of $87 million, making it one of the most talked about modern Lincoln cents. So how can you identify one of these valuable coins? First, take out a magnifying glass and carefully examine the reverse design. If you see that the letters A and M in America are wider than normal, you may already have a special coin. Next, look at the mint mark under the date. Check for doubling, repunching, or even a complete absence of the mark. Then examine the strike itself to see if it is off-center, has a doubled image, or appears to be struck on a foreign planchet such as a dime blank. Every tiny detail can mean the difference between a penny worth 1 cent and a penny worth millions. Collectors around the world constantly dream of finding one of these legendary coins in a roll of pennies from the bank or even as change from a grocery store. Stories circulate of people making life-changing discoveries with coins that were hiding in plain sight, and that is the magic of numismatics. What makes the 1998 penny story even more compelling is that, unlike ancient or extremely old coins, this one is relatively modern. Many of us have handled 1998 pennies countless times without giving them a second thought, yet in that very year the mint produced some of the most intriguing errors that continue to captivate collectors to this day. And while most 1998 pennies will never be worth more than face value, the hunt for the rare wide AM or the error strike keeps enthusiasts searching, because the possibility of finding an $87 million penny is just too exciting to ignore. The key takeaway for every viewer is simple: never underestimate the power of a small coin in your hand. The next time you come across a 1998 penny, look closely, study the details, and imagine that you could be holding not just a piece of currency but a ticket to extraordinary wealth and an entry into the fascinating history of American coin collecting. So keep your eyes open, keep your coins safe, and keep searching, because treasures like the 1998 era penny prove that even in the most ordinary places something truly extraordinary can be found. One of the most fascinating stories in the world of coins, a story that shows how something as small and ordinary as a 1-cent coin from the year 2014 in the United States can actually turn into a treasure worth up to $65 million, a staggering difference from its original face value of just 1 cent, and this incredible jump in worth has everything to do with the errors, mistakes, mint mark variations and possibilities that make certain coins so incredibly rare and desirable for collectors around the world, because in the world of numismatics it is not just about the coin's denomination, it is about the uniqueness, the flaws, the historical context and the chance rarity that can push something common into the realm of unbelievable value, and that is exactly the case with this coin we are discussing today, the 2014 1-cent coin, often overlooked in daily transactions. But when struck with an unusual error or an unexpected mint mark, it can suddenly become the centerpiece of a high-stakes collector's market where enthusiasts and experts bid astronomical sums to get their hands on it, and the real story begins with how these errors occur because when a coin is struck at the United States Mint, especially with billions of coins being produced each year, the chances for small mistakes become very real, and while most of those mistakes might be insignificant, a few of them can lead to dramatic differences in the final product, such as a double die error, where the design appears duplicated or shadowed, or a planchet error where the coin blank itself is defective before it is even struck, or even a mint mark error where the small letter denoting the mint location such as P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco might be misplaced, doubled, missing, or appear in a way that was never intended, and collectors absolutely love these anomalies because they tell a story of rarity, chance, and uniqueness, and this is what transforms an everyday 1-cent coin into something priceless, and in the case of the 2014 penny there are reports of coins that show off-center strikes where the image of Abraham Lincoln is not centered properly on the coin but rather pushed toward one side leaving blank space on the edge, and others that show doubled lettering especially in the motto "In God We Trust" or the word "Liberty" making the coin distinct from all the other billions produced. And then there are examples where the zinc core of the coin is exposed due to improper copper plating, creating a two-tone effect that is extremely eye-catching and immediately recognizable, and perhaps the most interesting are the mint mark errors where a Philadelphia mint coin might have no visible mint mark at all which is technically normal, but some coins show faint ghost marks or traces of misstruck letters suggesting a mechanical mishap, and in the Denver mint there have been reports of faint doubling or misplaced D mint marks which make those coins unique, and all of these small imperfections together are what drive collectors to consider these coins highly valuable, because rarity in the coin world is like gold dust, and when you combine rarity with demand you get sky-high values, and that is why the market for a coin like the 2014 penny with the right kind of error can soar to astonishing numbers such as $65 million. And while it might seem unbelievable that such a small copper-plated zinc coin could ever command such a price, the truth is that history has shown again and again that rare coins with undeniable uniqueness have fetched millions at auctions. So when we talk about the 2014 penny we are really talking about the possibility of discovery, the chance that someone out there holding an ordinary-looking penny might actually be sitting on a life-changing fortune, and this is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. The fact that treasures could be hiding in plain sight in your change jar, in your wallet, or even in the pennies you casually drop in a tip jar, and collectors know this, which is why they constantly search, examine, and study coins under magnification, hunting for those small telltale signs of doubling, striking errors, plating problems, or unusual mint marks, and the 2014 1-cent coin has become a hot target because of the reports and stories circulating about extraordinary values. And while not every coin from that year will be worth millions, the rarest of them with dramatic errors and clear uniqueness certainly could be, and this is why we encourage everyone to take a second look at their pocket change, because you never know when a coin that cost just 1 cent might be valued at millions, enough to change your life forever. So as we explore the world of numismatics, remember that coins are not just money, they are history, they are art, and sometimes they are hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. And the 2014 penny stands as proof of how something so small and simple can rise to legendary status in the eyes of collectors and historians. So keep watching your coins, keep learning about minting errors, and who knows, maybe the next valuable 2014 penny worth $65 million will be found by you.